Hey, babes. Thanks for tuning in to Too Hot to Sip podcast, where the tea stay hot and ready to be spilled. Babes, did you get the chance to follow this podcast yet? No? Then what are you waiting for? Go ahead and do it now. I don't think you want to miss out on these crazy topics. Also, you can follow us on our social media. It will always be listed down below in the description box. Okay, well, stay tuned for this new episode today. Bye. Mwah.
Hey, what's going on, you guys? What is going on? Hopefully, y'all having a great week. Because, baby, we got to get into some things. When I said we got to get into some things, um, we really need to discuss. We really need to sit down and discuss. Because, baby, let me tell you, last night, I had stayed up to like 3, 4 a.m. listening to this particular story, just like the title says. Okay. Now, before we go ahead and jump into that, please, if you have not yet subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe today. Because we are going to roll out some things. We're going to have some discussions, topics, music, just the whole 9 yard, baby. And I need y'all to be a family over here. Okay, grab your teacups because this tea stay fucking hot. Okay, it just never ends. So let's move on. Okay, so as the title says, it says, who the TF did I marry? Now there's this young lady on TikTok. Her name is Reese's or Reesa. And she was basically telling her story about her marriage to the point that they got divorced and etc. So what I'm going to do is I am going to briefly go over the story and then I'm going to literally share my opinion. So before I do that, I literally do want to go to one of her posts. Um, just so probably y'all could go ahead and listen to the 5 minutes to it. If y'all want to listen to the entire I guess playlist you can say she have for this, I will link it down below in the description so you guys can hear the entire story. I'm gonna warn you now, it is approximately 2, 3, probably like up to 4 hours worth of storytelling, child. And she should have had a podcast, honestly. You know what I'm saying? But we are here now, and we are going to go ahead and go on with this, okay? So let me play the first, okay? Let me do that. Let me stop talking. Let me let y'all hear this, okay? Please excuse the hair, but here is part one of who the fuck did I marry? Um, so I met my ex-husband around March 4th of 2020. We met on Facebook dating site, and we also matched on Hinge. I did not realize that he was on both under two different names. So one was his actual name, and the other one was a variation, like a nickname um, that he called himself. Different pictures. So it was a running joke between us. Oh, you ain't even recognize that you had matched with me on Hinge. No, I didn't. And also, that should have been a red flag. By the way, you will notice in this story, I called it the United Nations of red flags. It is so many red flags that, I mean, you would have thought I was colorblind because I ignored all of them. So, anyway, back to the story. We met around March 4th. We exchanged phone numbers. He called me and we talked on the phone for the first time. In the first phone call, he told me that he had just moved to Georgia from California, from San Diego. His job had transferred him because he was being transferred in as the new regional manager for a major condiment company that is based here in Georgia. I'm not going to say the name. And so we also talked about his childhood. He told me he grew up in Philly. He's from Philly. Both of his parents were deceased. This is the first phone call. Both of his parents were deceased. His father was a Philadelphia police officer. His mom was a teacher. He also told me he briefly lived in Augusta with his family. He had 2 brothers and 2 sisters. He also had 2 half brothers on his dad's side. First phone call. So I'm just giving you guys the backstory. This was the first phone call we had. So we talked about family. We talked about friends. We talked about our jobs. At the time, I was working at Georgia State Patrol. And he knew this, and he just thought that was like, wow, so you work with troopers all day. Yes, I did. Also in that phone call, he explained to me that he used to play football. He explained that he used to play arena football. I know nothing about arena football. I know about NFL, I know about college, go Dogs, but I don't know anything about arena football. So he explained to me that he used to play arena football. He used to work at Apple in the off season of arena football. And I remember thinking on that phone call, oh, okay, good for you. I don't know anything about arena football, and I believe I did tell him that I don't know anything about arena football. That'll come into play later on. So he told me, I just moved here. My job is paying for my housing, and they're helping me to look for a house. He was like, I'm trying right now. I'm in Gwinnett County, but I'm trying to look for a house, ideally in Atlanta, like Brookhaven, Sandy Springs. He was like, I really would like to move out there. And so I thought, that's great. You're looking to get a house. You just moved here. He was like, I don't really know too many people here because I spend all my time at work, and this job is really demanding. So that was our first phone call. We talked more. He talked a lot, which took me by surprise because I'm not really used to men talking more than me. He eventually asked me out on a date. Our first date was set for Saturday, March 7th, 2020. He asked me what was my favorite restaurant. I said Cheesecake Factory. And so we agreed to go out at the Cheesecake Factory in a location that was in between. I lived in Clayton County at the time. He lived in Gwinnett County. I realized that if you don't know anything about Metro Atlanta, that makes no sense. But basically, we lived about 45 minutes apart. So we agreed to meet at the Cheesecake Factory over at Perimeter Mall, which is in an area, Sandy Springs, Dunwoody area. I was excited. Like, I called my friends and was like, I got a date, blah, blah, blah. We'll see how it goes. First conversation was good. Hopefully he looks like his pictures, because, that's always an issue with online dating. Hopefully he looks like his pictures. So on my way to our date, I took 285, and literally right before I got to Boulder Crest, the exit for Boulder Crest, I heard a boom, and I lost control of my car. Thank God that not thank God, but I knew what to do. So I did not crash, but my tire blew out. So I called him and I said, hey, I'm so sorry, but my tire just blew on 285. I'm slowly making my way off the exit. I believe I pulled into a Chevron gas station, and I said, I got to get this fixed. I don't know what to do. Like, I'm a damsel in distress kind of thing. He kind of paused. He got quiet, and he was like, tell me exactly where you are. Drop your pen. So I dropped the pen, and he came to the gas station. Got out the car, And I was so relieved that he actually looked like his pictures that I was like, oh my God, he's actually attractive because he's like 6'4", 6'5". Um, oh, also, man, I apologize. So let me go back to the first conversation. Let me add something. He did tell me in the first phone call that he was divorced, and that his ex-wife, she had two children, a boy and a girl, who were teenagers, young adults. I think the girl was about 20, and he said that he had a very close relationship with his stepkids, but that he and his ex-wife had divorced because she cheated on him out in California. And so coming to Georgia was a new beginning for him. She was still out in California. The kids were still out in California. And so, he was like, I can't stand her, but I still want to be in the kids' lives. I have to put that in there because that will come back later. So this is just setting the stage. Again, that first conversation was, we talked about family, job, friends, how he ended up in Georgia, me being in Georgia, the things that, I would think people talk about in the first conversation. All right, now back to the tire blew out. So he shows up to the gas station. He changes my tire, which I just thought was the sexiest thing in the world. And then he proceeds to say, hey, I found a tire place around the corner. You need to get another tire. Like, you can't drive on this donut. So he followed me to the tire place, and then helped me get a tire, paid for it. So I was definitely like, wow. And so the vibe was good. So anyway, I get the tire fixed. We follow each other to the Cheesecake Factory over in Perimeter. We hold hands walking into the Cheesecake Factory. So in my mind, I'm like, this is just this. Oh my God, I had butterflies. That's the look of a woman who had butterflies. So I had butterflies, and we go in. There's a long wait, and so we sit outside and we just talk. And the conversation's great. And this is where he tells me what it is he's looking for. He tells me, I believe at this time he was 42. He was like, I want to get married and it be for real. He's like, my parents were married 40 plus years before my mom passed away. And I want that. I want marriage, family, a house. Like, that is what I want. He's like, I'm as a man, I'm ready to get married, but I want it to be real because the first time, it really hurt me when she cheated on me. So he's telling me everything that I wanted to hear. And so he was like, what is it that you want? And I said pretty much the same thing. I was like, I'm ready to get married. Definitely want to have a family. And I want to marry my best friend. So we both put on the table that we wanted marriage. And this is the end of part one.
Whew, child. So we're going to leave it there. I want y'all to soak up the beginning, okay? I want y'all to soak this up, the story that she just told. So let me just say this. She had like 52 parts. And I just want to explain to you guys, if y'all going to listen, the reason why she's in so much detail in giving so much behind the scene, what's going on, and etc., she really wants y'all to paint a picture in y'all head to see how far this man took her in a lie about who he is, what he do, what happened to his marriage prior. The thing he said upon a child, we gotta get deep into this. Like, you know what? We're gonna get into that.
to the point where after things he said about a child, um following up, she did her own investigation because things was just chaos for her. Things she found out from family members that no longer fucks with him for years. Okay? And also seemed as if he had some type of mental issue because he was also having conversation, quote unquote, with people on the phone, making it seem like it's the family member or friends or, VPs, president, secretary, financial advisor, etc., etc. Child, the bitch, I don't even know what to say, but trust me, I'm going to break it down to you guys. Okay? All right. So we just listened to just the first part. Like I told y'all, there are 52 parts to this playlist of the story. I am going to fast forward everything for you, okay? So we can get to the discussion part. So after she met this man on social media, they basically was courting each other, right? She felt as if what he presented was the man that she was looking for, and to a point, and this is the time of 2020 where COVID was hitting, and people had to quarantine, so da da da, right? So they made an agreement to quarantine together. According to her, the guy, quote unquote, said that the company was looking for places for him, and he's just staying in this raggedy, okay, let's say efficiency. It wasn't a apartment studio. Because according to her, it looked really bad and she was not going to stay there. So it was the efficiency. He was staying there, quote unquote, waiting for the company to find like houses and stuff. According to her, he showed her proof of the conversation between someone acting as if he or she works for the company and she's looking for places, but she's either sick, pregnant, whatever the case may be. I don't remember because it was so long. But they they decided that they're going to quarantine in her house. Now, before I continue, I do want to describe her. As y'all gonna see in her pictures, she is on the heavy set side. She is a Christian. So with this being said, she felt some type of way trying to quarantine with this man, and they're not married and whatever. She is very heavy on the religion of, if I'm not married, I cannot be shackled. I cannot be staying under or living with a guy. Baby, we're going to talk about that because we need to stop really following a lot of these crazy ass rules. Because, child, okay. So, boom. They shackled up and whatever, having a good time for a while. According to her, they got to a point where they had a conversation of they want to be married. So now they got to a point where they agreed they want to be married. According to her, her proposal was trash. Her proposal was so trash. She went with him to a jewelry store, pick out her ring. They went to a restaurant. He had the ring. He placed it on the table and said, there you go. Open it. And she was like, what is this? Da 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 da. He was like, just open it. And she did. And he was like, so now you're gonna be my wife? Child, she was very disappointed on the proposal. We will definitely talk about that. I'm just trying to speed through the story. Boom. Okay, she agreed because again, religion purposes, she's finally getting the marriage. It's finally her time. She could finally be able to brag to her congregation and say, "Hey, I'm getting married to a man. He's treating me right according to him." And et cetera, right? Okay, so now I think he suggested that, hey, we should start looking for a house. So to make this short, they went through, according to me, if my memory served me right, 3 or 4 realtors looking at houses. You know, apparently he was doing all of the paperwork, air quotes, people, air quotes, and none of the sale went through. Okay, it's either his documents of showing her that he was pre-approved for a mortgage of 750. The first couple try, he was going to try with the mortgage with that statement, seeing houses around that budget or below, making sure she likes the house, putting a smile on her, face, looking at houses, signing contract, quote unquote, putting deposit down, but child never did put a deposit. Then going up a notch, saying that, you know what, the next house we're gonna go ahead and do cash. We're gonna purchase the house cash and just remove ourselves from all this. Then when certain realtors that are smart, that knows the rules and regulation, they start asking, okay, if you're going to pay with cash, I need proof of income. The guy can never produce it. Okay. Now she got to a place where she was pregnant and stressing because every house that she is looking for falls through. Now she's starting to second guess herself because it's like, what the fuck is going on? I don't understand. If you have all this money, why can't we never close on a house? Like, I don't understand. Whatever, right? So she was stressing so bad that she was having complications with, carrying the child. We're gonna speed this up because um it's a lot and she's very detailed, and I'm not really trying to retell her story because I could misinterpret what she said or say the wrong thing. I want you guys to basically watch it and then come back to my commentary so we can really have a discussion, okay? But anywho, she was stressing so bad that she was having a miscarriage. Okay, so then she had to go see a doctor. The doctor had to do an emergency DC. I'm not sure what that is, but you already know what that means, an abortion, because according to her, the doctor told her the child heart stopped. So this is why her body was expelling the child. Um, and she did something that didn't work, so this is why she had to do the procedure. He never came to show up. Matter of fact, he told her, before we say that, he told her that I cannot drop you to the facility um because I got this promotion. I'm becoming a VP at this company. And so back and forth, couldn't. Friend took her to the procedure, but he was supposed to pick her up. Procedure was done. He never showed up. He took forever and a day, lying where he's at, saying it's traffic, and then show up 3 to almost 4 hours later to come pick her up. All right. According to her, he told the family, do not call, do not text her for 1 week, etc., etc. Okay. So now they're moving on. So now, um, as they still looking for houses, I think she said she put the houses on pause for a little bit. And then he was like, because I'm becoming a VP, we need to start looking at cars. He found a car that he was going to get for the company, but now he wants to buy her a car because the car that she was driving, the mileage was high. Let's just say that. So they end up looking at several different cars. So then he ended up being so adamant for her to look at BMW and I forgot what was the other one. BMW and something else. And she ended up falling in love with this BMW. The make and model, y'all figure that out in the story. But this, I'm just giving y'all the general information, right? So then, so once again, the car situation never went through. Okay, just never went through. Now she's starting to second guess herself some more. This is the point where she's starting to um tell him, look, you know what, fuck it, we don't need to look for a car no more, just forget, I don't want to hear nothing about a car, da da da. Right? So she had said in her video she had been doing diaries on her phone, having conversation with herself, to kind of make sense of the situation, because she just don't understand what is the deal that they can never close on anything. Like, we supposed to be looking for a house. We can't close on a house. You made us go to stores, look for furniture. You put a deposit, according to her, and that didn't come through. You went to the car dealership. We found the car that we want, and then you're saying that the company's gonna pay for it. Then when it was time to sign the paperwork and do all this, your quote unquote person at the job that handled the financials is not at work. The other person is not at work. It was a lot of shit going on. So then fast forward, um, she's starting to second guess herself, right? Um, so this we get into the part where she's starting to explain phone calls, situation with family, right? So she says, according to her, he's been talking to several family members on the phone. Did she hear the other person on the phone? No. First of all, that was already a red flag. These motherfucking phones are so fucking loud, right? You can hear another person talking. You may not understand what they're saying, but you can hear a little mumble, mumble, mumble that, oh, okay, they talking to someone, right? Okay. Let me leave my comment to the end. But she said she heard there was some people or one person that she heard on the phone, because one of them was on speakerphone. So all right, she believes he was talking to the brothers, sisters. He got three. He had four brothers. Two of them is step brothers. He's supposed to have two sisters. All right, remember that, you guys. So then, situation continues. They were still pursuing, looking for a house and etc. They got to this one particular realtor. Thank God she got to one particular realtor that kind of like made her reflect on all the situation that was going on. And this realtor, not saying it, but you can feel the connection through the wordings of what she said. And this realtor, to my understanding, chose the word in a particular way for her to understand something is not right with this man. Okay. Now, mind you, I did skip on some shit, but let me pause it here with that smart realtor. Okay. Going back to, losing the child because she was stressed out, house failing, car, da da da, they was having issues, right? She was basically having issues. There was a point where she went into this man's phone and she was digging. Now, for me, I'm the type of girl that never dig into a man.
So, like I said, I am not one to dig into a man's phone, but I do hear what you looking for, you finna find it. And did she find it? Okay. So apparently she was looking through her man's phone while he was asleep. She ran into the bathroom with the phone and she was going through messages. And she found that her husband was talking to like I could say an escort. I'm not gonna call her the P, but an escort. And he went to go see her, according to her story, twice. Okay. And, she kind of flipped and, she confronting him, trying to figure out, like, what the hell would happen. Moving forward. So all of this happened, right? So they in separate bedrooms now. They is, not really getting along right now. And he's starting to have bad knee problem. But with that being said, she started to notice how with this bad knee problem, it seemed like the knee problem must be a symptom to something else that is going on with him. But since he just never truthful and always saying that, oh, it's because of the football, when I was playing football from the arena football thing, or the doctor said, and just to elevate my feet and put ice on it, I'll be fine. So as she know, he's a liar. You know, she's thinking about it behind her head, but she knows. um she's starting to continue to monitor him. While monitoring him, she started to notice that he's starting to lose weight, and he's starting to go to work less and less, to the point where he was basically bedridden, right? So moving forward with all this that is going on, you know, like he's cheating, he's this, he's lying, can't close on a house, can't get up a goddamn uh car, saying that he works somewhere where he don't have access to get into the building that he showed. Then I know I was rushing through this. He also took her to this grave site, air quotes, you guys, air quotes, where his mother and father was laid. I think that's what it was, or his grandmother and grandpa was laid, one of the two, right? And saying that, oh, because she wanted to be, you know, next to him, so this is why it's just the family name, blah 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 blah. All right. All right, now we got to the meat and gritty of the situation, where she's at, what's going on, and I'm not really explaining everything. I'm just giving you the general shit that has been happening, and there's more little stuff that she explained. Like I said, I'm going to leave the link below if you want to listen to the playlist of this story. If you have not yet, or don't know where to go, or whatever, just make sure you have TikTok, and I will leave the link below. Period. So she started to become an FBI, a police investigator, the whole 9 yard, doing her own investigation, bitch. Okay. Now, in this time, she was trying to find a new job. Long story short, he did not believe that she would be able to find a new job. You know, she was a correction officer, or she worked with correction officer, one of the two, or state troopers, okay? And it wasn't really giving enough money that where she can depend on herself. So this is why she wanted more money. So because she felt like something is not right, like, you don't want to show me your two savings account, it seemed like you're lying to me. You couldn't get my car that I wanted. You couldn't get the house we were trying to get after seeing approximately 20 so houses, okay? And all this other nonsense going on, right? Now let me pause here, because before we get into the meat and gritty of how she found out everything was a fucking lie and how deep the rabbit hole went, I have to say this. During the relationship, during them staying together and doing all this, finding houses, filling out contract, looking for cars, this, then, you know, getting proposed, having a child, losing a child, then what is it? Saying that he works here, that he's a VP, but bitch, always dressing in regular clothes, like never in a suit and tie. Finding out that he's been cheating twice. You know, all in the midst of all that, right? She says she recalls that he been on the phone with family member. I'm just gonna keep it real general like that. Okay. I think his name is Lucian, the way that she called it on there. I think that was just it's not his real name, but just a name just so that, you know, she could be in track and everybody can follow. So, boom, right? So she's been hearing this man being on a phone call, but not hearing the other person on the phone. And like I had said earlier,
We know when someone's on the phone because even though we can't hear the full like conversation from the other person, you can still hear their voice slightly on the phone. But she said she was only able to hear his side. So she was sitting next to him, and that's how weird it is. You sitting right next to this person, and you telling me you can't hear not a damn thing from the other side of the line? Baby, you should have peeped. You should have peeped. But he did have one phone call that he did put it on speakerphone, and I guess she just was like, you know what, he's talking to somebody, whatever. Mind you, at this time, they being married together and etc. Certain family member, like major family members, so that have to be your auntie, your mama, your daddy, some of all your siblings, okay, all your siblings, your cousin and this and that. They should know who you are. Okay, if you married a man and you ain't meet the family, y'all ain't never conversate, y'all never seen each other physically, virtually, nothing, and you ain't even talked to not one, that was already a red flag. Okay, so moving forward, remember that. So with all that she's doing investigation, she ended up finding out a lot of shit. So apparently on the marriage certificate, he put the first three numbers wrong from his social security, and I think that was on purpose. Then when she was trying to get her second job to transition into that because they was making a little bit more money there, she wanted to go there. She needed information from her spouse because it is a government job, so they're gonna ask about all your business, who you staying with, who you married with, when was your last relation. They want all that detail. So he ended up putting a whole different three numbers, the first three number that's different than the one that's on the marriage certificate. So what she did is she went and did her investigation online, found out that the one that he gave came out with no record. The other one that he put on the application was his record. Found out that he was married not once, but twice prior. And only was saying about the second marriage, saying that how they still, he still is involved in the kids' life. Mind you, the kids do not belong to him by blood whatsoever. He only communicates with the kids. He don't fuck with the second wife. But quote unquote, that's supposed to be the first. So she found that out. After digging, she was looking at like, okay, you said your mom and dad died. She looked that up. She found that. And she found a whole bunch of other shit. She found out that it was only two brothers listed on the obituary for like the grandma, the mom, and matter of fact, she couldn't find a dad death certificate. Right? So the mom she found, the grandma she found. She found out that for both of them, it was two of the brothers. There was no extra two brothers, and there was no two sisters, right? It was only them three. And this is how she found out that, he was married more than once. Okay. Found that out. She ended up investigating who was the second wife. Like, is she still around? Where was it? Because he said that, quote unquote, the second wife was the first wife. They got married in California, got divorced in California. They was living in California. Found out that was a fucking lie. He was here in Georgia. Okay, let me just say that. He was here in Georgia. They got married in Georgia. They got divorced in Georgia. Yes, she got 2 kids. Found out the lady information. Called the lady up. Very respectful. Found out a whole bunch of shit about, hey, he's a liar. He's lying, this and that. Now, I have to say this because this is where the kid, where he said something bad about a child, right here. So he told her, Resna, right? Reesa. Reesa. There you go. He told his wife, Reesa, not too long ago, that his ex-wife daughter passed away. Right? So she didn't tell the ex-wife, like, hey, he told me that, your daughter passed. What she did was, hey, how is your daughter? She was like, oh, my daughter is fine. Why? What did he say? She said she could not tell her what he says. And I don't blame her, because it will cause another chaos in this lady life. And according to her and how she was telling it, that lady is done and through. Like, she really just don't want to know shit about this man. Don't want to know shit, don't care for it, don't call her, don't want to see him, etc., etc. The shit was horrible. And I guess Risa was trying to figure out how bad can it get, because right now she's in a bad place with him. And she was like, it could get worse. Like, it's bad now, it can get worse. So if I was you, divorce him, girl, go on about your day, blah, 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 blah. Right? After confirming it, she also confirmed within that conversation that he was lying, saying that the ex-wife cheated on him, and he found the guy in their house, and that's how everything got, that, oh, he kicked her out, she kicked him out, kicked him out, took all his money, and so on, right? But come to find out, no. He got kicked out because he was lying about everything, like who he was, everything, right? So she told her truth, okay? This will happen, baby girl, listen, I have nothing to do with him. You telling me that, baby, I went through it 10 times more. And that was it. Found out, she said, the whole other reason too is, he had a girlfriend. So that other address that you found on his license, mind you, he ended up having like several different licenses and whatever with different addresses with his name, but different addresses. One of the address was with the girlfriend that he cheated on his quote unquote second wife. Okay, with, and then found Risa, and then started dating her. All right. So, all right, she found that out. So, I think after getting all of that detail and whatever, and finding everything that she found out, she was fed up with him. Fed up. So she took it upon herself to be calm and cool and collective and go and speak to him while he was laying in bed, because all he do is eat 2 pieces of chicken if you give him, and all he's drinking is Powerade or Gatorade, one of them, but he's drinking just that. That's all he's doing. Drinking, laying down, complaining about pain, and that's it. Now, there was a day where she was so fed up with all the information that she got in and found out that she confronted him. She confronted him saying, listen, I know X, Y, and Z. I bet you never went to X, Y, and Z. I bet you didn't do X, Y, and Z. And he continued to lie, right? So she was like, you know what? Just get your stuff and get the fuck out. So then, of course, back and forth, I ain't getting out. We gonna make this work. We in a marriage, so you trying to give up on the marriage, all that shit. So I guess either he called his auntie and was like, "Oh, she's trying to kick me out, and I don't know. She think I've been lying to her, and I ain't never lied to her." And according to her, that's when she flipped. Like, she said, "Bitch," after he said to his auntie, "He ain't never lied to me." Oh, bitch. You got me motherfucking fucked up, bitch. All this shit I found, and I come to you before I kicked you out to see if you would tell the truth, and you still lying in my face. Basically saying, bitch, you got me fucked up. Okay. She said she was so enraged that she never knew that she can be enraged like that. Fast forward, they got the arguing. Parents, her mom stepped in. The auntie stepped in because family members did not step in for him. Tell him, get out. You know, she's serious. I think she will literally harm you right now, because in the back, she's still going off, according to her. So he finally left. Now, he finally left. She changed the lock. She started printing out the paperwork for divorce and whatever. And while he had left for a couple of days, he left like some important shit. And she was going through the book bag that had like all of his shit. She found out so much more about this man that her fucking mind just poof. And found out that he had a felony. Found out that he was not a VP, but he was kicked out. He was fired from his job, the one that he said he's making a lot of money and he's VP from. Found out that he was working these other mediocre jobs, like, for example, like FedEx, Walmart, and stuff like that. Got fired. Found out he had several other IDs. Okay. Found out, what else she had found out in that bag? She just found out a whole bunch of shit in there. She was so fucking shocked. So, as she's cleaning up house, getting the documents, trying to fill it out, his family end up calling, right? Now, who calls first? It was an auntie that she never met before. And she was like, listen, I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because he said you kicked them out because he said that when he came in, he found you with a police officer, and the police officer threatened him with his unarmed weapon or something like that. Basically his work gun. Sorry y'all, my nose is running, allergies. And this is how he left and whatever. And she was like, what is you talking about? No, that's not what happened. She broke down what happened. And the auntie was like, you know what? Listen, we is not surprised he's lying. He lied about everything. So we're going to make this quick, because I want to jump into my thoughts really fast. But anywho, she found out so much more than what she found out in the book bag. So this is what happened. Let me just give you bullet points of what she found out. She found out that there are no sisters whatsoever. There are no sisters. One of the quote unquote sister he was claiming, named Kim, was the auntie that ended up calling her trying to find out what happened. Kim is her daughter. Okay? Now, the other girl, let me say Shantae or whatever it was, they don't know who that girl is. Probably he just made up the name. Boom. Found out later on that, matter of fact, no, let me not say that. She found out from this auntie that the grandma died back in 2008, not during COVID 2020. Okay? Because apparently the lie was to her, to Reesa, that the grandma just passed in 2020 due to COVID. But the grandma, according to the auntie, passed years ago, 2008, baby. Early 2000, okay? found out the mom died back in like 2015, according to her, probably 2015 or 2016. So it was not even like back to back that death was happening in the family. Like, this is past death of family member that he's making up to make her feel connected to this man. Okay? Then she got in a call. I think she got in a call from the brother, or she ended up calling the brother because the auntie said, hey, let me find out because, before I go there, she told the auntie, hey, well, he said he's been talking to so-and-so, the older brother. And she was like, what? To my knowledge, they ain't talked for years. And to piggyback on that, Kim, the one that he was claiming is his sister, which we know now is the niece of this auntie, the niece and him have not talked for 20 years. Yeah. So, let's go back to either the older brother called her, Reesa, or Reesa called the older brother. She found out from him that no, there's not two sisters, there's no sisters whatsoever. It's only three boys. Him, Lucian, and then Lucian twin brother. So she found out that Lucian have a fucking twin brother. Okay? And they look exactly alike. Then on top of that, she found out that the twin is married with kids, is a VP to a very established company. So she ended up finding out on top of that, Lucian was using the identity of the older brother, meaning claiming that he was a VP of a company, claiming that he was married, well, he was, but making all of this money and etc. And then making up all these other lies, okay? The way that she found out about this criminal record, and she was looking through the backpacks and whatever, because the brothers say, hey, if I was you, you got his social security, go look it up. Go look it up, find it yourself. And that's what she did, okay? Listen, she found out before she went and go look it up, the criminal history. The older brother also said, we was never in communication, bitch. I don't even know when the last time I had spoken to him, but it's been some time. It's been some years, okay? Then she was like, okay, so how about Uncle blah blah? He's like, what? Uncle blah blah died back in 2015-14. What? Now, I'm not trying to say that, he's not talking to somebody on the phone, but I'm trying to tell you he was not talking to me or his uncle. Then she was like, okay, so what about Junebug? So then he was like, Junebug? Man, Junebug died like 2-3 years ago. She is so shocked because she's trying to rationalize hearing this man having a full-blown conversation on the phone with whoever it may or may not be, and thinking he was talking to family members, finding out that he burned bridges with all of his family members. Then some of the family members he's saying that, I'm talking to were dead years. Okay? Years ago. So she's trying to figure out, okay, so who the fuck was he talking to on the phone? Because he had to be talking to somebody because he was in full conversation like a nigga would be when they talking to their homeboys, family members, or whatever. So she was confused. I wasn't confused because I was like, bitch, you know what? Save that comment for the end. We save it for the end, okay? So she ended up finding out all this shit. and finding out that he burned bridges with all of his family members. Found out that the auntie that he was going to when she kicked him out. So now he's trying to find a place to stay, haven't. He's been homeless. She's trying to get him to fill the paperwork, seen him lose weight, the whole 9 yard, baby. She was finding shit every single day. So she took it upon herself, because at the time where she was finding out that he was lying, she tried to, I think either when he kicked him out, excuse me, I don't know why I'm so tongue tied, but when she kicked him out, he left one of his phones, I believe. And she went through the phone and she was trying to verify, okay, because this can't be, you cannot be talking to realtors, going to see houses, filling, signing a contract that is, typically binding, and saying that you're going to do this, you're going to do that, making it seem like you're really going to do it. Like she said, I don't think any person in their right mind would literally go and waste people. So she really couldn't find out, like, if this man can really just sit out here and waste people time and not being a serious buyer. And on top of that, she feel just embarrassed because every time she talked to a realtor, they can never really fall through with the sale and whatever, right? So as she was going through the phone and whatever, she tried to take the picture of the bank, like the one that he showed her, saying that I have this amount in my check-in and da da da. So she found out that she can do a reverse image lookup, and she did. And she found out that the bank checking account that he was showing her was from Google. It's from Google. It's somebody else's whole account and whatever. And she was like, so this man don't even have the fucking money. This is why we could not buy our house. This is why we couldn't get the BMW and etc. And she was just getting fed up and fed up and fed up. Okay. Fast forward. They did the divorce, do all this, da 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 da. All right. To me, this is the end of the story. I mean, if you want more detail, like I said, I'm gonna leave the link below so y'all can watch the full story. It's 52 parts. And she will be telling her story in detail so that you can kind of follow, because baby, I just want to get into the topics, the talk. Okay, because we got a lot to talk about. So, child. When it came to this story, I freaking understood what people was talking about. Where even though she went through a traumatic time, and she did admit that she is going through she went through therapy, or she's going through therapy right now, because of all of this shit, and she does have trust issues now. She's saying, before meeting him, I trusted everyone. But now, after this whole ordeal, meeting other people, she do not have trust in them. And she know that's something she needs to work on and whatever. But at the same time, I do not blame her. Because, girl, listen. You can dislike someone so bad. So bad. There are certain things you would not wish upon anyone. Even the person you hate. Till Jesus come. But for me, I would not wish this on anyone. I would not wish what this young lady went through. Now, probably she's older than me, whatever, but child, listen, she went through it, okay? This young lady went through it. She went through it with a top tier PhD doctoral fuck nigga. Do you hear me? Fuck nigga top A1A PhD doctoral all the fucking degrees in the world fuck nigga. Because let's start at the beginning. She found out that this man had 2 dating profiles. Now, for me, I wouldn't consider that a red flag because sometimes some dating site does not work out for you, right? So with me, back in the days, I had POF, I had Tag, I had Tinder, and I had, was it Cupid? It was something else besides Cupid. I forgot what the fuck it was. It was like a secondhand Facebook situation. I forgot what it was called. I was on those, right? And I wouldn't consider that as red flags because people choose different the dating site to be on, and some people choose to be on all of them to just get their luck, better or whatever. So I wouldn't have considered that as a red flag. Red flag for me would have been the studio. It would have been, how the hell you come down? I don't care how much in a rush you were or whatever. How do you come down to a new state saying that a company was going to buy you a house? Now, for me, knowing how certain corporate work, with me working in several of them, and with me leaving one of the top business named Home Depot, I was really close with a lot of district managers, regional managers. Shit, I was almost close with a VP. And like I told y'all on my story time with my district manager, I know a few things. Okay, let me say that. Baby, if y'all want to know that story, please click the link down below if y'all want to know what happened with me and my district manager. But I do want to make this clear. It is a subscription episode. So if you do want to listen to that story, I think it just costs 49 cents or 99 cents, one of them, for you to subscribe a month for you guys to listen to my explicit stories. But again, I will leave that down below, and it's your decision if you want to listen to it, okay? And pay for it. But I know a few things. And what I know for a fact, if you work for a company and you are like top management up to like CEO, VPs, presidents, and so on, if you're going to another state that they're moving you to, and there are 2 options. Option 1 is they're going to rent a house for you till you find the house you like. Or they would already, before you leave where you're going to leave, they're going to take you to your new place, have you shop around, and have you close on a place. Okay? Now, if it goes to like trips and stuff like that, what I know for a fact is they will always book your hotel. They will always book your hotel. Okay? This is why you have a secretary. They will book it under, business affairs and da-da-da-da. They will do it. You don't handle none of that. You don't know what's going on. All you know is you in top tier presidential suites. You already got your house, da-da-da-da-da-da. That would have been a red flag for me, because how you saying you work for a company, the company is moving you over here for a higher position in the company, and they're going to buy you a house, but you have to stay in this shackle of a shack. Efficiency, not a damn studio. I'm not gonna call it a one bed studio. I'm not gonna say that. It was a damn efficiency. Okay, because as bad as she did, if she say she was not going to quarantine with you in that, that should tell you that something is up. Okay, then number two, the vehicle he was driving, a Ford Taurus. Now, there's nothing wrong with a Ford Taurus. Some people may just like the Ford Taurus more than just like the luxury brand. But if your company is top dog and you in Atlanta, baby, for sure they're gonna put you in a entry level luxury car. Now they're not gonna put you in top tier luxury car, because baby, that's for the CEOs. That's for the, presidents. That's for the vice president. Blah blah blah. But if you top management and a company is going to pay for your work vehicle, they're going to put you in an entry level vehicle. Whether it's a BMW, a Mercedes, a Lexus, those type of brand of cars, okay? Yeah, you can probably, they'll put you in like a Cadillac as well. Um, they'll put you in luxury entry level luxury vehicles, okay? That's two. Red flag number two. Red flag number motherfucking three is he never being the one to show you willingly what he has in his account. Why did he have to take you through all these rounds of looking at houses, fail sales, for you to ask him, let's see each other's bank account and let's regroup so we can get the house in a later time? Excuse me. That don't make fucking sense. A man that's making money, listen, a man that's making money, you will see money. You will see money. You will see it. Okay? It's either he's going to be hopping on his phone all the time and it's open and he's going to be like, oh, babe, come look at this. I think I just got a new drop. Or, oh, babe, I'm talking to our financial advisor. Let me put them on speakerphone. Or he got fucking money stashed away somewhere. And it's not like a couple dollar bills. It's like hundreds. It's like 20s, 50s bundles of cash somewhere. Okay? It would be luxury items everywhere. Invictia, yeah, they quite, up there in the price, but girl, and you saying a whole bunch of Jordans, and where's some Louis Vuitton? Where's some Saint Laurent? Where's some Givenchy? Where's some Valentinos? Baby, you're not getting, if he's making so much money, and when you had suggestions to see each other's bank account and you seen his checking account is $96,000, baby, where's the vacations? Where's the trip out? Where's the dating? Like, throughout her whole story, she yet to say they went on another date. She yet to say, oh, we went on a trip. She yet to say anything. If anything, it was always half-assed, okay? It was so half-assed to the point where he did a surprise with a fucking brochure of a trip he wants to plan for her because he knew that she wanted to go to London and Paris. Where's the flight tickets? Where is the, here's your passport, here's the flight ticket, here's some money to buy you some new clothes, some bathing suits, whatever you gonna need. Where is that? To make me feel like, oh yeah, he got some money, child. He is really, bitch, whatever is going on, probably, the bank's not trying to let it go through because, fraud out here. It is COVID. There was a lot of frauds going on too. So probably that was it. But you did not say y'all went to multiple trips. You never said y'all went to multiple dates. You only went to one date, if I am not mistaken. One freaking date. And with that, y'all shackled up, you got knocked up, you lost the child naturally for natural causes, whatever it may have been, because you was under stress and whatever. He lied to your face about buying you a car, lying in your face about getting you a house, yet to get some, keep forcing you to keep looking for houses and going through this whole entire process. Like, girl, that should have been red flag number 4. If house 1 fell and you found out a whole different buyer purchased the home, that should have been a red flag to you. You shouldn't have to go through house number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, number 6, number 7, number 8, 9, 10, to 100 houses to find out this man did not have the money to give you what you wanted. Okay? And what he said he wanted to give you. Okay? It should, then red flag number 4, probably this is red flag number 5. You should have seen by the way that he proposed to you that it was a red flag. It was a red, like, he did not do the whole shebang for you. Now, I'm not saying he should have did extravagant things. I mean, he said he was rich. He said he had money from playing football in the arena, and he had money stacked up and he invested, I mean, he should have. He had the money. And then, you know what I'm saying? He had the money, according to him. He should have did the whole shebang. He should have had 3, 4, 5 ring laid out for you, not you going and checking to see which ring you wanted, and then for him to tell you, oh, okay, I'll get it when I'm ready to propose. No. He should have did the whole shebang, not y'all sit in a restaurant to eat dinner and he just put the box on the table and say, here, open it up and say, would you be my wife? I'm not even would you be my wife, saying that, what he has said to her? Oh, so now you're my wife. Excuse me? So you still sitting on that seat. You get to come around, be on one knee, give me this whole speech that's supposed to be beautiful, heartfelt. I'm supposed to be crying. The whole restaurant is supposed to be looking at us. I should be feeling weirded out because everyone is looking at us. And I was supposed to say yes, and the entire building should have been shouting, screaming, hollering, crying, the whole 9 yard, recording us. They don't even know us from a can of paint, but recording us because of this moment, You telling me he didn't do none of that. Just sat on the motherfucking table, slammed the damn box on the table, say, here, open it. So now you my wife? Excuse me? Girl, I would have told him, I would have slid the box. No, thank you. Okay? And I would have told him, look, quarantine is over. You could go back to your studio and we can probably chat from there, honey. We still need to figure each other out. Now, here's the problem that I said I was going to bring back. Christian people go too far with certain things because what used to work back in 1845, 1952 to goddamn 1977 is not working in today's age. Okay. So for you to be like, oh, you should court her. The first day you met her, you should, if you love her, you find her attractive, you feel like that's the one, you should start automatically courting her, marry her within a few months, and then y'all need to move in together and shackle up. And you may not love her now, but you will love her later. Like, y'all need to stop that shit. Y'all need to stop putting that out there, because at the end of the day, that's not how shit works. Okay? It does not work like that. I don't care what used to work back then. It do not work like that now. Okay? Now you have to be cautious of who you talking to, who you dating, who you have people around you, because you don't ever know someone fully. You don't know what their motive is. And if she would have known that, if she would have had that instant to be like, you know what? My spirit ain't sitting right. My spirit ain't sitting right. I don't know what it is about this man, but it's not feeling right. Instead of be like, yeah, even though something's not right, I can't pinpoint it. You know what? Let me keep pushing through. Probably it's just me. Probably I'm just overthinking it. Because number one, she was in a space where she was ready to be married. She was in a space where she wanted it to be her time, probably. And, I'm not saying this is what she's saying, but to my view of this whole situation, and probably why she continued on dealing with this man, probably she just felt like she was lonely. She felt like she couldn't find no one. Then she felt like all of her friend and everybody else was getting married. Everybody had like family. Everybody had kids. Everybody was, living their dream marriages. And she felt like she was excluded. Like, damn, where is my man? And I am not going to blame her, because listen, like she said at the end, being single is not for the weak. It's really not, because you would have some weakness to yourself where you would accept some bullshit from some nigga. I'm not going to even lie. You would. But you have to understand that if you truly believe in God, God would find the person for you. It don't matter if you goddamn 75 years old, honey, and your person still have not arrived. God will come and have that person come to your life when you really need it. Okay? And sometimes we have to stop putting our feet in front of our mouth and taking a bite, because we always stop our blessing. We always stop the plan that God had for us, because you're listening to family members, you're viewing your peers, you're listening to pastors saying that you need to be married, you need to die before you can do this, and not knowing that he have a whole sack of sin of his own, and it makes you go into situations that you should not ever gotten yourself in. And I believe that would happen to her. I'm not going to say she was desperate. I am not going to say that, she felt like she could never find anyone to love her because of her size, because how she looks, and etc., etc. Because you never know. She might have a fucking roster. You never know. Okay? She might have a full list of niggas waiting to be with her. But because no one had presented what the interest she had, because her mind was, I want to be married, I want to be married, I want to be married. Or probably because she's like, damn, my clock is ticking. Oh, I'm turning 30. I need to have a child now, because I heard when you turn 30, pregnancy will be complicated. I heard your kid will have Down syndrome, this, that. Baby, listen. If you truly believe in God, if you truly is a Christian at heart, and you follow God's word, you should trust in him good enough to where you know your person is coming. Let me pause here. You think me as a 31-year-old right now, you don't think I'm getting the pressure from my parents, from looking at my peers, from looking at people that was trying to talk to me before getting married 2-3 months later? I feel it. I do. But you know what? God did give me this. I don't know if it's a gift or whatever. He gave me a sixth sense where I can feel energy. I can feel like this person is not meant to be in my life. I sense when this person cannot be my friend or your friend or anyone else's friend, whatever it may be. I always had that sense. And right now, as much as I used to be like, oh, I don't want to be married, I don't want no kids, but when you really reflect it, it is not for the point what my parents is saying, because kids is not guaranteed to take care of you. We are literally finding out kids killing their own parents, okay? So let's take that out the book. I know I'm drifting off a bit, but I just wanted to point this out. Kids is not guaranteed to take care of you when you get older. But it is good to continue to have your essence to continue on this earth, right? And it is good to have someone that loves you, care for you, cherish you, respect you, and so 9 yards. Y'all went through a whole bunch of shit, but y'all got to a place where y'all got to a place, okay? And y'all love and care for each other until one of you two passes away. That's a beautiful thing. But for me, I am not going to be so desperate because my parents is on my back like, look, you're getting older, you need to get into something, you need to find someone, you need to da 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 da. I'm not going to jump head first into something that I know is not gonna make me happy. I know that this person is not meant for me. I know this is not gonna work out. This is not what God meant for me. I'm not going to do that. Okay? So, regardless of how long it takes for my person to come, I'm going to wait because God have a plan for me. I may be sad, I might be down in the dumps because I don't have no one to celebrate Valentine's Day with. But like I told my mom, I'd rather be alone, healthy, happy, than laying next to someone each and every night where I feel dreadful, where I feel unhappy, where I feel uneasy because I don't know who this person is. This person don't truly love me. This person disrespect me, don't care about me, etc., etc. But because we shackled, at least I'll have somebody to be old with. No, that's not even guaranteed. Okay? So hell no. Sometimes we need to learn, let God do his job. Okay? When it comes, it's gonna come in the most beautiful time. And you would be like, damn, I didn't know I needed it right then and there. I just thought if I was younger, I should have had it already. Da da da. Let God do his job, okay? Now, back to her, Reesa. Like I said, I'm not going to point out that probably that's what she was going through and probably that's what led her to deal with this situation from this man. But it's something with following the covenant of religion. It's not even God's word. It's not even Jesus following. It's none of that. It's something with certain governance of churches and certain religion that put too much pressure on you. Mostly women. It don't even be men. It be women. Put so much pressure on them to find marriage, and they get into these marriages and it's a disaster. Do you hear me? So I can't fault her too much, But I am going to fault her because the red flag was so damn bright, you would think it was on flame. Okay, how bright of these red flags back to back to back to back to back to back to back. First of all, if you, and this red flag number 6, bitch. If you have to do a voice diary each day just to follow up on his lies, girl, what is you doing? What, you should have been packed it up. You should have been packed it up, honey. Okay? Like, if you have to do all of that, and if your pastor and the wife said y'all is not gonna make it, matter of fact, if y'all would have came to me before y'all got married, I would have told y'all to not get married because y'all ain't meant for each other. Y'all not supposed to be together. Baby, I would have packed my shit. Do you hear me? I would have packed my shit. He could have kept that house and continued paying the rent. However he was paying that damn rent, he would have figured out to continue paying that damn rent. Okay? So, for me, with this guy, because I do want to go back to the point where the older brother was saying that he was not talking to him. He was not talking to certain family member that was passed, that died years ago. Certain people that he claimed to be cool with, they burned bridges long time ago, and he claiming to talk to them. For him to act on a phone, to act on the phone like he's having a full-blown conversation, number 1, I would think he's fucking crazy. Number 2, I would think he's a psychopath. And number 3 is really dinging really hard for me, he has a mental issue. I think he is so hurt and battered and displaced in life because a lot of people do not trust him. A lot of people do not care for him no more. He lied and hurt so much people that used to care for him. I think he's battling that internally because why are you sitting on a phone that have no one on the other line and you're literally having full-blown conversation with cracking jokes? And you're actually laughing. It's not even the fake laugh. It's you're actually laughing. I believe he has a mental crisis. I feel as if he wishes he had everything that his twin brother have because the twin brother is doing so well, and for whatever reason, because the auntie and I think the older brother has said that he's been lying since he was a teenager, he must have went through something traumatic as a child and the family did not know, either losing the parents too early and that kind of broke him. I mean, he is, quote unquote, even though he's a twin, he is the last born. So his twin brother that lives somewhere else, he's 26 minutes ahead of him being born. So basically, Lucian is considered as the baby of the family, you know? And, ooh, let me get this soda to drink. Hold on. And probably losing his parents so young may have caused some mental breakdown and he could not get his footing in life. Or, like I said prior, some situation that was so dramatic happened to him This is why he was lying so much. So he never gotten the help that he needed. He haven't talked to someone to really kind of piece together his trauma so that he can heal. And he just grew up just lying, just being a liar, just being raised, well, not even being raised, because I don't think some family member was raised you to be a liar, but just grew up with that bad habit and is messing with him so bad that his mental capacity must be cracking. And while he was getting sick, for whatever reason, because the knee is not the issue. Like she said, the knee is a symptom of something else. She never found out what was the sickness because he never went to go see a doctor, even though he said he did. Never went to go see a doctor. She said, the next time you go to see a doctor, I want to go with you to see what's going on. Never did. So I feel like whatever was going on with him, the sickness was really cracking the mirror. And because he already had some cracks, I think when he got kicked out of the house and seen how serious Reesa was, his mental burst into several shards. And I think he had it bad. I think he needed professional help at this time. Because I cannot vision someone sit on a phone with no one on the other line and talking to someone that have died years ago, over, let's say, 5 years ago. You're sitting here having conversation with that person and family members that you have not talked to for years, probably over 10 years. Yeah, he had mental issue, yo. Like, he really did. And I don't know if she did not peep or because he lied to her so much that she was in the area where she just did not give a fuck. Like, yo, I don't give a fuck what's going on with you. But what is happening is you need to sign this damn paper so we can have a divorce and you could go on your merry, happy way, okay? And fuck somebody else's life. But I'm done and through with you. So, to close this out, because I know it's a bit long, but child, what I have to say is I am really grateful to this lady for having the courage to sit through, I don't know if it has been 3-4 days, 5 days, to telling this story of what happened and what she went through. I just want to say to her, I am so proud of you. I am admired by the courage of you to retell this story, knowing that this is still a painful area in your life, because there were so many different aspects of this situation that one relationship would not go through so many of the things you went through in one. Like, what I'm saying is, if you're married or in a relationship, you would have one or the other. Meaning, okay, if I am with a boy named John and John is cheating on me, he's cheating on me and lying. and that's it. Cheating on me and lying. He's not cheating on me, lying, talking to dead relative, then lying about siblings that is not even there or born. Have this weird mental or this weird medical issue that he doesn't want to share. Have a criminal background. I mean, the list go on with that. Like, typical relationship, you have one or two situation going on. But you had so many, like, girl, I think I count more than 10. Okay? It was so much. And for you to sit through that, to tell the world what you went through, that takes a lot of courage. And being vulnerable like that, knowing that you may get some criticism. Probably some people calling you naive, dumb, stupid. How the fuck you didn't see these red flags? I would have been left if that would have happened to me. The first red flag, I would have flew out of there. Let me say this. People love to talk about what they would have done, not knowing how it is while you there. Meaning real time, when shit is really popping off. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, we're only saying, oh, if that would have happened, yeah, I would have done this. Because she already went through it and she's telling the story of what happened. So basically, she is the third person in her own story, looking in. She is the stranger looking into her relationship, telling us the story of what is going on. So you have so much opinion saying what you would have, what you could have, what you done, what you would have, and all this other nonsense. When in reality, when shit pop off, you're not doing not even one of the things you said you would have done. Because you know why? You'll be too busy being enraged, crying, feeling depressed, eating your life away, probably not eating your life away, having a mental breakdown, and etc. before you can even do an action. Where this young lady, even though she was going through some shit for some couple of months to a year, she, after finding out everything that she found out, she moved quick. She did. It's because it's like, what else can I do? What else? Okay, what else can I do? What I can do is, I need a divorce immediately, like yesterday. I need a divorce like yesterday. So I commend you on that. I commend you for sharing it, because it kind of opened our eyes that even though celebrities make it seem like, oh, their relationship, their marriage is so perfect. And social media have been blasting all this fairy tale, all this, oh, look at what this person boyfriend did, look at what this person girlfriend did. They're not really showing the average relationship out there, not sharing the truth of a relationship. You only see what they try to fix with money, material stuff, possessions, whatever you want to call it, for that day. This right here kind of opened our eyes to see that you may be in a bad relationship, but honestly, your friend, your neighbors, the girl you just walk by past the bus or walk by on a sidewalk or at work or wherever, may be going through something 10 times as worse. And if you think your relationship is bad, someone have it 20 times as worse. And I'm going to say I was grateful. I was really grateful to hearing this story because like I am saying out, I am literally experiencing the, what can I say? I am experiencing that certain situation that I was in, it could have been worse. You know what I'm saying? And if, for me, not for her, if I was in a place of desperation, if I was in a place where I was really paying attention to other people's opinions about me, I may be caught up in some situation like that. It may not be similar, I mean, the same, but it might have been similar. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes you have to be thankful to know that you can stand on your own toes. You can, be a Christian person, but at the same time, you can use logic. You can use your vision, your hearing, your smell, and conclude, would this be a good thing for me or not? You know what I'm saying? So, you guys, y'all let me know down below what y'all think of this shit. I am so bewildered. I just have no words. And this is something I was telling my best friend. I just have no words. So if y'all have the words, please leave it down in the comment section. Let's continue this conversation. If y'all have any stories similar to this, definitely share it. I want to know. I want to hear it because you know what? I think I have a story time coming. It may not be as wild as this one, but it's semi-similar to what I could have gotten myself into if I had continued. All right. I hope to see you guys later. I know it was a long chat, but this is something that is very educational to everyone. And I think we all can learn a lesson from this. So, you guys, I hope to see you guys next time. Love you guys. Be safe. Make sure you are always prayed up and have y'all damn angels by your side. Bye.
Hey babes, thanks for tuning in and listening to this episode. Like, share, and follow our podcast if you really enjoyed today's topic, because there's so much more to come, and I don't think you want to miss out. Okay, I didn't think so. Well, babes, see you later on the next episode. Bye.